This is the second video in a three-part series demonstrating the process of lost wax metal casting using the Cera-Fusion ceramic shell system. In this video, we will discuss the procedure for applying the Cera-Fusion ceramic slurry to the wax model we created in the previous video. First, we need to clean the wax model with wax and grease remover and a microfiber towel. Isopropyl alcohol or methylated spirits can also be used. This will remove any loose wax, dirt, or oil from the wax model. For the initial coat, we use Cera-Fusion Prime. Before each slurry application, it is best practice to mix the slurry. This is because the lighter components tend to rise to the top over time. Using a small, soft bristle brush, I apply a very thin coat of prime by buffing it into the surface of the wax model. This technique captures every small detail in the model. Cera-Fusion Prime has been specially formulated to wet out and adhere to wax. Additionally, it provides a smooth surface finish on the final product. The model is then placed inside a drying cabinet set to between 30 to 36 degrees Celsius. The initial thin coat will dry very quickly, normally around 15 minutes. Once the thin coat has dried to a chalk finish, the model is ready for the next coat. The slurry can be applied by pouring it over the model and allowing the excess to drip off, or the model can be dipped into the slurry and allow the excess to drip off the model, normally around 30 seconds. Then immediately dust pure silica sand over the entire model. The sand should be gently dusted onto the model from a distance of 100 to 200 mm above the model. Once the slurry has lost its wet, glossy appearance, you've applied the correct amount of sand. Now the model goes back into the drying cabinet. Typically, a coat takes 3 to 4 hours to dry. However, if the humidity is higher than optimal, drying times may take longer. Ideally, you should use a contact moisture meter like this one to check the coat has sufficiently dried before applying the subsequent coat. If the meter gives a reading above 30, then the coat needs more time to dry. Once the shell is dry, the meter will stay in the green range and the range will be below 30. Now we can move on to applying Cera-Fusion Armor Slurry. Before applying each coat, mix the slurry. Cera-Fusion Armor gives the ceramic shell its strength and high temperature resistance. The slurry can be poured over the model or dipped just like before. The excess slurry is allowed to drip off, and then immediately pure silica sand is dusted over the wet coat. Once the slurry has lost its wet glossy appearance, you've applied the correct amount of sand. Now the model goes back into the drying cabinet. A total of 8 coats of Cera-Fusion armour is applied in the same manner to build up the shell thickness. If drying conditions are optimal, you can apply all coats within 3 days. After all coats have been applied, the shell wall thickness is typically 7 to 8 millimeters. In the next video, we will discuss how to melt the wax out of the ceramic shell and prepare it for metal pouring.